It's the Benz Brunani womanist. Baby boys, baby girls, you need to hear this. Sit down, receive this realness. Make sure your cup's ready for the tea, we are go sip it, yo. Hard time scrolling for your long throats. You might learn something you never know. Collect you fine, and she's one of a kind. Don't say you're mine, say you're mine.
So we're back. Welcome to extra content. My name is Kelechi Okafor, and you know that I've got Kevin with me. And the extra card that came up when I always like to look at the bottom of the deck. So the card that came up, would you believe it? The same card from last week, was it? The Emperor. Okay. And so if we're carrying on the conversation about what the Braider card and what the Queen of Wands in reverse means, I feel like this is saying, basically, I feel like Kevin embodies the Emperor in that he just said in the main segment that he gave himself a structure. He needed to find a way to give himself structure. So he started baking to kind of work at being disciplined when it comes to patience and things like that, like you said. And I think that this is what the Emperor is saying, that it's one thing to give you advice and be like, okay, the Queen of Wands is showing up in reverse saying that you need to give more energy to yourself and understand that people will be fine without you. Like, you don't need to delude yourself that the only reason you're not doing the things that you want to do is because of other people. Other people will look after themselves, look after you. And those who truly love you will understand that you need to spread your wings and you need to do things that make you a whole ass fucking person. If they love you, they will understand that. It's only someone that doesn't love something that will try to hold it in the palm of their hands and watch it wilt and die. Those who truly care about you will encourage you to the point where it even scares you. Like, oh, maybe I don't want to do that thing. Then they'll be like, no, you do, because you're fucking great. Go out and do it. They push you to be your best self. So they will understand. The people who truly love you will understand. But to do that, you need to have a structure. And I think that's why the Emperor card came out again, because he was like, bitch, you didn't say everything that you needed to say about me the last time. So I'm just up here showing you my face again. So to remind everyone that whenever you're planning what you want to do to make yourself better, what are you going to do? Is it that you're going to go to therapy, or is it that you're going to plan the trip? You're going to sit down and be like, okay, I'm going to travel for a while. This is what I'm going to do. Or no, I'm going to start investing in this project, or I'm going to start meeting more people, going to more groups so I can learn more. What is it that you're going to do? You can't just fly out there without structure. This is saying that if it's going to succeed, you need to plan how it's going to work. So that's why I think the Emperor card came back out again. And if I was wrong, he's going to pop back up next week and everybody be like, bitch, listen to me. But I think that that's what it is. It feels right saying that along with these cards. What do you think about that?
I think that you definitely have to have structure. You definitely have to have a plan. And I think that you need to treat those plans in the way that we were talking about, how you need to treat people. Like, it might not always work out, my G, and if it doesn't work out, it's cool. You can just start again. Aaliyah told you, brush yourself off and start again. It's fine. Like, at least you tried, and then you've got a little bit of experience. You're like, cool, that didn't work, so but actually I'm going to try this now and apply it. I've always found stuff that I did years ago, the small things that no one even saw or registered that I did, that I thought were just irrelevant bits and bobs, are the things that probably make me the most money today. And what I mean by that is, one person saw that from ages ago and was like, oh, you did that, can you come and help me with this? Because I've got all of this budget. And I'm like, right. But the things that were like massive, that like, you would have thought would have made my platform even bigger.
Didn't resonate in the same way.
Didn't resonate and don't really mean anything.
Yeah.
And so now what I've learned from that personally for me is that it's like, rah, like, just do what you're doing, enjoy it, and what will be, will be. Like, everything is going to end up where it's meant to end up.
That's it. Like, I was quoting from Max Ehrmann's Desiderata of Happiness today, and I mentioned that a part of it that says that you are a child of the universe, no less than the trees or the stars. Trust that everything is unfolding as it should. That doesn't mean that you sit on your laurels and you do fuck all. It means that you keep working, but trust in the knowledge that everything as much love and passion that you're putting into everything, you're going to get that shit back. You are. It might not come today or tomorrow, but just by doing what you're doing, like Kevin said earlier, the butterfly effect, the ripples that you are sending out will surely bring good things to you. It might be 10 years from now. Someone will just be like, remember what you said that day? I really felt it really resonated with me. And so my company's now doing this and I want you to be a part of it. And you're like, rah, no, I didn't even think anybody was listening to me. Trust that you are being heard, whether it's by other people or by God, like you are being heard. It's cool. You're all right. So this is our letter that I didn't want to put on the main podcast because I thought it was a lot. So this is from D, and she says, Dear Kelechi, sorry, don't know why this font looks so big. I hope you're well and thriving, sending you lots of love and good energy as you go about your week. So 2 emails in a week, because she sent me another one earlier. I know this is team too much, but I feel like a lot of things you've said in the last 2 podcasts I listened to were speaking directly to me, and the icing on top was the relationship discussion you had. So I want to share my story. If it's okay if it's offline, as the story is mad long, but would love to hear your views if you get the chance. As an aside, I recently passed my driving test too and hated every minute of the whole thing. I know your struggle and congratulations on your perseverance. You got this. Congratulations 2D. She says, I had an experience a few weeks ago that left me shaken. I was in the supermarket with my husband and we walked past this guy. And I saw him clock us. I knew he had something to say. My husband is white, I'm black, incredibly dark-skinned, and I'm always hyper-aware of my surroundings. It's probably something that started when I first moved to England and realized people saw me as different, whereas at home, we are all black, the majority. I think my hyper-awareness is a tool of intuition based on self-preservation. Anyways, I always notice when people look at us funny, but this guy, incredibly light-skinned black guy, wanted more. He followed us to the checkout and then pretended to be on the phone to someone, but really what he was saying was directly to us. He proceeded to say things like, along the lines of, these black bitches that open up their pussies for white men should be burned. It's unnatural. They'll burn in hell. He said any offspring from us should be drowned because they would be unnatural and from the devil. I tried to ignore him at first and engage my husband in conversation, but he just got louder. My husband was pissed and went for him. I had to pull him back because frankly, I hate confrontation at any cost. And this gal has got a visa application due. Don't want Home Office sending me back to where I came from. Also, I was scared. He was telling his friend to come with matches so they can light me up. As much as I wanted to slap that dickhead, my instinct was self-preservation. I'm not naive. I realize there are challenges in marrying outside my race, but my husband and I often discuss this. We read a lot. We talk a lot. We listen a lot to your podcasts and others and try to move forward each day and learn from our own fuckeries and fuckeries of the world. I do not have to justify why I chose to marry who I chose to marry, nor do I need to explain how we try to navigate the world together from such different perspectives, especially to some hateful, stupid waste man. Anyways, throughout all of this, nobody said a word, not the staff, nobody in the queue. And I get it, self-preservation, but it was also so lonely. It made me think of you later on and all the things you say and do and how you continually get attacked for it. We are all benefiting from you, and for every time we do not speak out in support, how lonely that fight is. Eventually, a woman told him his words were disgusting and she made sure I was okay. I told her my life is good and I'm happy with my choices, and he's the one that's filled with hate. I also laid it on thick, kissing my husband and making sure he had a full view. He then started yelling at her that it's none of her business, and I filmed him, which pissed him off. He said he wasn't scared, but he stopped chatting shit. As we left, he told me I need to go to culture school to learn about my culture. This annoyed me immensely because in my culture, the black men who raised me and who I saw around me would not treat a black woman like that. So he needs culture. Ultimately, though, I also did not need to justify my blackness to him. My husband and I kept playing it back later on. What could we have done differently? How could we have done better? Fear drove me because of the life-threatening stuff he was saying, but my knowledge in the God I serve, the choices I've made, and my love for my blackness and my homeland are strong, and I did not have to explain myself to him. And even if I had, I wasn't thinking clearly and probably would have just ended up cussing and having a shouting match. The Ben's Punani pondering spoke to me. I rate black men, but when they fuck up massively. And that episode was a cream to my burn. I understand the resentment and hurt that comes from being rejected simply because of the color of our skin. But that guy was not attacking my husband. His anger was at me. His hatred was for black women. This is massively long and I do not expect you to read it on the show. I just wanted to share it with you and to say I was left shaken, but my strength came from all that I've learned from you and the many black women standing up for us. To be honest, recounting it still hurts. I don't know what you do when you are attacked and how you even react on those situations. Anyways, thank you so much for reading. You're an inspiration, and thank you for creating a space for black women so we can speak as we wish and to feel safe. Lots of love, D. Don't mind you using my name if you do read it out, but please not my full name. Yeah. Thanks.
So this stuff really just rocks. I don't understand. I think going back to that thing I was saying about duality as well, it's like if your partner's white, like does that affect your blackness? And then what is the definition of blackness? Like, and is it just one definition, or could it be that
a myriad of things?
Yeah. Your husband's a G, 2 slaps for his chest because, yeah, box him, yes.
Because that was wild. And I don't know at which point he got or maybe he was properly on the phone the whole time. Maybe he just called up a brethren and just started ranting.
But look at the effort of that.
Like, you hate me that much. And like she said, and this is what I think is really interesting, the hatred that black men direct towards black women, but they don't direct it towards other men, whether black or white. Because when my brother said to this guy, my brother called this guy a little bitch when he said I was angry and foul. He responded to my brother like, well, it's just my opinion. And Ray, why didn't you come at my brother
keep
with
the same energy?
Why didn't you keep that same vim when you were talking to my brother? But you won't. Men don't talk to each other like that. You save that kind of thing for black women specifically, which is why we say it's misogynoir. You wouldn't say it to another man. You wouldn't say it to another black man, but you save that energy, that hatred, that vitriol specifically for black women. I don't know what I would have done in her situation, because reading it, honestly, D, we're talking about it here, but D, like, I don't know what I would have done in your situation, because that shit is mad. Like, I would have fought. And I know that it's easy to say these things, but in the moment you think about your partner like, okay, well, if I now start fighting, I'm putting my partner, or I start arguing about it, I'm putting my partner in a dangerous position, because now it's a man on man thing or whatever. Like,
yeah.
Or, you know, I don't, that can escalate so quickly. Sometimes I don't speak out when some fuckeries happen, because I think I don't want you to now feel like you have to defend me, and then you are the one that gets the brunt of everything.
I think I understand why it was a scary situation as well, because it's just like, also that is actually not normal behavior.
No.
Like, to either pretend to be on the phone,
yeah,
or actually call someone so you can. It
Tell
doesn't
them to
make
bring
sense.
matches to come and light me up.
None of it makes sense. So why did you have to call someone? Like, just say it with your whole chest and say what you want to say there and then.
Right.
Do you understand? It's
and for the fact that she said he was very, very light skinned, I wonder, was there a trauma with a white person in your life? I don't know.
I don't like, this is the thing, like, if I speak about white privilege and I speak about the way that white men have behaved and behave towards me sometimes, I'm talking from a space of experience.
Yes.
So therefore, it happened. It was a fact.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you about it. That does not mean to say that I hate
all white people. Yeah.
That's wild behavior.
And I would be very mentally unwell to feel that way about everyone.
Yeah.
And I say it all the time, the same way when I talk about whiteness, or I talk about men, you know, I'm talking about both things with a capital with a capital letter at the beginning. I'm talking about the construct of gender and the construct of race. That's what I'm discussing. And I'm saying that those people who identify as these things, they have certain benefits and privileges that I do not have. That's what I'm discussing. So when you now turn to me and go, not all men, or that's only English men that do that. No. I'm talking about everyone. Don't correct me on what I just fucking said. I'm talking about everyone. I understand that there's nuance, and because of history, whiteness means that there are white people who have also been hurt by English people and, the Anglos and whatever. I understand all of that. But I just said what I've said. Yeah. While still understanding all of these things. But, there was a discussion I had recently that you'll probably see soon about can you be pro-black and be in an interracial relationship. And it really upset me that it ended with one person saying, oh, well, ultimately you cannot. And I just thought, you know what?
How can you not?
Because you're conflicted, and the thing is, it's still white supremacist patriarchy that you're buying into, and maybe you're overcompensating with the things that you do in your community because you feel guilty for the fact that you're with a white person. No, that ain't it. That ain't it. But for the whole discussion to have ended on that was one of the things that I despised the most, because it was just like, no, you should have given me a chance to answer back, because that is bullshit.
That you're buying into.
Right.
No, like maybe you just love that person and the dick is good.
Right. Could it just... No, but then I saw another argument on the internet that was just like, just admit that you just, you have a preference and you went with this person. But I was dating black guys before. I was dating any sort of guy before. Like, check my resume, bitch. Like, who are you talking to? I've got receipts. And I shouldn't have to justify myself to you. I understand if all I've ever dated is white people, you could come chat to me that maybe something agwan. But that is not the case in this situation. But you wouldn't know that because we're basing it on just what you see of me right now. And I understand that there are many self-loathing people out there who are with people because they hate themselves. I can't speak for those people. I can only speak for myself and say, don't chat to me about anything, because I talk about the realities of being in an interracial relationship that is fucking exhausting, in the fact that I've got to explain, even though I'm not obligated to, but I spend a lot of time explaining racial things online and to people at panel discussions. Then I've got to come home and then explain the same thing, or not even the same thing, but then start explaining similar things to my partner. Like, when do I just get to be a black woman, just living my life without people attacking me or nothing? When do I just get to be me? So I'm not in this relationship blindly. It's not all roses, because it's work. Like any other relationship, it's work. But when you take the racial dynamic into it as well, it's extra work. Yeah, I've committed myself to being here, but you now want to come and tell me nonsense.
I think it's that duality thing where people have only ever been allowed to be one thing or boxed into one thing, so they can't comprehend even existing in two spaces.
Yeah.
But yet understand that they can. Isn't that mad that you don't feel like you're allowed to have a choice and be able to sit in two spaces, but you understand you understand how you could, I don't know, FaceTime someone in Australia in a different time zone, and you can do all of these marvelous things in science.
Yeah.
But when it comes to your emotional
and
intelligence,
your interpersonal relationships,
you can't comprehend that. I can definitely sit here, be blackety black,
yeah,
and talk honestly and truthfully about my experience.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about your experience.
Yeah.
I'm talking about my experience as a black gay man, and still then be in an interracial relationship. And you think also, like, for me, like, there's this thing, if you do or don't follow me, like, whenever I'm with, like, my extended family,
the only black in the village.
the only black in the village.
yeah.
And people are like, oh yeah, but when you go up, like, you know, surely, almost like it's like I water down. I'm like, water down for who? For what?
For what?
We have full on, like, they are educated.
Yeah.
They are educated, and they are, like, questions are asked. I explain why that question didn't make sense, what you just said.
Yeah.
I explain about like, all of those things. Like, I'm not half myself when I'm with my other half.
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
I'm black first.
Yes.
Like, I'm black first.
Yes.
feminist second,
Yeah.
then maybe a black man.
Yeah.
Way down the line is like being gay. Like I'm
Yeah.
not that bothered. Like when people gasp me, like, are you going to Pride? It's like busy being black.
I'm fine.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah,
Not
it's
to talk of
like-
the corporations hijacking it and co-opting it, but yeah,
Right,
that's another
exactly.
story. But
Yeah, like it's interesting. I'm sorry, D. It was D, wasn't it?
yeah, it's D. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really sorry. Again, those words probably don't mean anything and don't help in the situation, but I think your reaction was valid.
Yeah.
I don't think you let anyone or yourself down by being scared. That was a mad situation.
Yeah.
You're allowed to be terrified in that situation. You're allowed to think about self-preservation. You're allowed to look after yourself and your husband. I love the fact that you then started kissing up on your husband to piss him off.
Good,
My
yeah.
G.
Yes.
It's just not, it doesn't make any sense. It's like,
It's horrible. And, you know, this is the thing. People think it's la-di-da being in an interracial relationship, but actually you're hyper visible when you're out in these spaces. And being a black woman already, I'm already very hyper vigilant when I'm out. And as someone who suffered sexual abuse when I was a child, I'm extremely hyper vigilant. I sense a change in the fucking humidity in the room. Like I am aware of any change. I'm aware of anything. If someone's moving slightly mad, I know those things. So I'm always on guard, and I don't want to live my life on guard. So I don't think I would have chosen this situation had it not been for the individual that I'm with. So it's just a lot. But you asked how I deal with the things when I get attacked. I go to therapy, which helps me a lot. And I journal a lot. I have tarot. I pray a lot because I have to have a belief that there's something other than myself, greater than myself, that inspires me to do this. Otherwise, you'll crumble. You'll crumble because there are days when I don't want to do anything. I don't want to get out of bed. And I don't say that lightly. It is hard. But I also have the studio. Being able to teach people pole dance, twerk, as frivolous and as trivial as someone else might deem it, it's a passion of mine to teach. So I have that space where I can put my energies and my frustrations, turn it into something positive. So I have those things. And I just wish that you have something that you're passionate about, that you can almost convert this energy into and put it there, because there is a space for it. There is a space for it. And definitely have someone to speak to, a professional that you can speak to, because you shouldn't have to bear that kind of incident. You shouldn't have to hold it alone at all.
yeah, just enjoy your relationship as well. Because
Yeah.
that's the thing that you hated, to make that shit flourish.
Yeah.
My G.
Live your best life.
Live your best life. Live your life, as Jill said, like it's golden, because it is golden.
Yeah.
You are valid, welcome, and worth it. You just put that, you take that energy. You've been doing it your whole life. This is nothing new.
Yeah.
This is nothing new. Like, I always like talk about energy in a way where like, oh my God, you work 7 days a week. I don't know like where you get your energy to do all of these projects, rare tear 10.
Yeah.
It's like the same energy that you use to like go raving, drinking over the weekend, get up and do it again.
Yeah.
It's just what I do with my work.
Yeah.
Energy is transferable.
Yes.
It's transferable. So therefore, he's giving you that dark energy. It was unwelcome and it sits heavy on your chest, but put that into a project, put that into a new passion.
Yeah.
Or even if it is, like you said, therapy or just writing it down,
Yeah.
but put that energy somewhere else, like it's not your burden.
It isn't, and you didn't deserve that. And I know you and your partner are sitting there thinking what you could have done differently. No, whatever you did was the thing to do. There's no need to now start overthinking it, because we have a tendency all as people to do that. It's happened, and now it's just like, how can we best protect you both and move forward? And like Kevin said, love each other even more ferociously, because that little prick tried it and nothing will dim you like you guys shine. Live your best life. Yeah. And that is it for our extra content. Thank you so much. I've had the best time having Kevin here with me. And
I hope it was all right.
it's wonderful. Like, this is one of my best episode. I'm going to say it with my entire chest. This is my best fucking episode ever. Like, this was incredible. And it's everything that I needed and everything I've wanted ever from having a guest on the show. But you'll be seeing Kevin and I doing more things in the future by God's grace.
Sure.
And yeah, you obviously know where I'm at because you're on Patreon and you're watching all of this. So thank you so much, and I'll be catching you later. Peace.
It's the Benz Punani womanist. Baby boys, baby girls, you need to hear this. Sit down, receive this realness. Make sure your cup's ready for the tea, we are go sip it, yo. Hard time scrolling for your long shorts. You might learn something you never know. Collect you fine, and she's one of a kind. Don't say you're mine, say you're mine.